or not to vaccinate? That is the question. Today, we are in search of answers. Hello, with this week's feature story, I am Tessa Habet. Our feature story is brought to you by Enrique Martinez and Sons.
Enrique Martinez and Sons. Introducing to Belize Cam2 lubricants, most dependable, outstanding quality lubricant on your supermarket shelves. Whether on the road, in the plant, or on the tracks, Cam2 lubricant remains the world's greatest. Cam2 lubricants meets and exceed the toughest condition with its highest API certification. Available in Belize at Enrique Martinez and Sons. Product choices includes 5W30, 10W30, 20W50, 10W40, ATF, multi-purpose grease. Come visit our store today and choose from Cam2 highest performance lubricants. Stand strong and independent, knowing you made the right choice with Cam2 lubricants. Don't forget to visit the Ave Maria bookstore, where you can get your St. Joseph items such as prayer cards, rosaries, and keychains. Get them while supplies last. Happy Feast of St. Joseph.
Last year, countries around the world started the process of vaccinating their populations after the long-anticipated release began.
What a vaccine does, whether it being part of the virus itself or part of the molecular parts of that virus, that's getting a little bit too confusing sometimes, but that's the way how it works. So you either get the whole virus and the pretty tops are as aggressive, and then what you do, you introduce it to the body and make the immune system of the body make the antibodies. Antibodies are proteins, are soldiers that fight the virus. So what they do, they say, okay, Mr. Body, okay, Mr. Human being, this is the virus. We make you recognize it. We are good, so next time when you see it, you run from it or you fight it off.
The goal has always been to get the COVID-19 vaccine to every person who wants it.
I believe that morally everyone must take the vaccine. It is the moral choice because it is about your life but also the lives of others.
Survey data in first world countries show as much as 40% of the populations don't want it.
They don't trust the vaccine because it was developed so quickly. Okay? And that's not surprising because to develop a vaccine now in age is different from when they developed a vaccine 50 years ago. They used to take forever. Now within the year, months, you develop a vaccine. When they make a vaccine, they already have the foundation and the walls already, like if you're building a house. Okay? A lot of vaccines share the same foundation and walls. So when the new virus comes, it's just like putting on the roof. Worldwide, they've had pretty much 3 different vaccines developed and accepted. And that's important because actually almost 100 different vaccines have been started to be developed, but only 3 or 4 has actually reached the finish line, so to speak. No, everybody is developing, but they only have 3 or 4. They have the Oxford AstraZeneca that we have in Belize. We have the Pfizer, the Moderna, and of course the Russian one called Sputnik. There are at least 3 or 4 leading vaccines.
AstraZeneca is here in Belize, and while suspensions took place in Germany, France, Spain, Italy, Thailand, South Africa, Denmark, Norway, Iceland, Austria, Estonia, and Lithuania, we are not exempted from the hesitation. So are Belizeans taking it?
I got vaccinated.
Ooh, I got vaccinated today for COVID.
I got vaccinated to help keep my patients safe.
For sure, some have readily posted cards that read, "I am safe, I am vaccinated." But for those who are hesitant, what are the key considerations?
There's not a, what's the word I want to use? There's not that general excitement about taking the vaccine. I have to pull, like almost they pull teeth, no? Hey, I think everybody would have just, have to the whole half to take the vaccine, but there has been a lot of fear of taking the vaccine. And I think that has been the biggest thing in Belize, now that people are fearful of it.
We are encountering a phenomenon of what I would call a crisis of conscience. And so when someone comes to me on a topic of such significance as you've just brought up, the COVID vaccine, I want to ask them, I want to challenge them to talk through with me where they are at with regard to the formation of their conscience. Because the easy way out is to have someone else tell you what to do. And I think that's a danger in the life of the church right now in general. I'll speak just with regard to practicing Catholics. I think Catholics prefer to just have someone tell them what they're supposed to do, or give them permission to do whatever they want. And it's easier because then you don't have to do the hard work of thinking. But we are rational creatures, okay? God created us to set us apart from the rest of His creation. And the way in which He did that was by giving us the capacity to know Him. Not to just be subservient to Him, not to just fit into the grand scheme of His design, but to actually know Him and choose to participate in His will, to choose to participate in His life. And we have to access our consciences then. We can't just be given commands. He gave us the 10 Commandments, and they're pretty broad. And they take a lot of work to apply them every minute of our lives in the here and now. So I don't just tell them, yes, get the vaccine, or no, don't get the vaccine. We need to be listening to the voice of the Holy Spirit when we are making any kind of important decision. And why am I unsettled? Well, maybe it's because I'm hearing contradictory or conflicting information everywhere I turn. Well, if that's the case, then that's a good sign to take a step back and say, okay, well, then I'm not going to make a decision right now because I can't seem to access information that is making it possible for me to move forward with peace. The voice of Christ is first encountered and heard in the absolute first instance of the rational soul, in our conscience. But we got lazy. The experts have given us a whole list of people who aren't supposed to get the vaccine. People who are immune compromised, pregnant women. We don't know yet the status of people who have already had COVID-19, whether they should be getting the vaccine or not. There isn't a blanket answer to this question. As a priest, I have a responsibility. As a shepherd of souls, I have a responsibility to facilitate discussion, to get people talking, to take the contents of their mind out of their mind and from outside of their echo chambers so that we can talk together. And if we don't do that, we will not get anywhere. We will not access the truth. And that's why I am reluctant to, I will not go on social media and say, do this or don't do that. Well, I'll tell you the truth. At this very moment, I'm still doing my research. I'm still asking questions. I work with universities now. And I'm regularly met with a response to some of my questions that says, well, we don't have data on that yet. Okay, that's a totally fair and understandable answer. If you don't have data, you can't just make it up. But that answer points to something else. That I have, as uneducated as I am in these matters, thought to ask this question. And the answer to that question is, we can't answer that question right now. Okay, well, if I want to have that question answered before making a decision, then I guess that means I have to wait. So this is the kind of process that we should be going through. Slow down, calm down. And I think we need to just do a little bit of piano and think and listen and ask questions and have conversations and not shut someone down because they say something that you think is wrong. If you think it's wrong, correct them. Explain to them where you think they've gone wrong. Or, even worse, let them finish talking and listen, and then ask yourself whether you might have it right or wrong before you jump in to have the debate. Is trust your gut. Trust your gut. If the conscience is, if you are accessing the sacraments, if you are praying, then the Blessed Trinity is dwelling in you and is speaking to you. And just because you arrive at a different conclusion than someone else doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you're right. All we can do is go through this life trying our best. The desire to please God already pleases Him. The decisions that we make, do they please God? That should be our first priority.
This entire season presents us all with a wonderful opportunity to grow in our relationship with Jesus, grow in love with our church, and grow in life of holiness. In its midst, we are thankful that each person is personally examining what is the right decision without the pressure of it being mandated. May we continue to lean into God as we continue to maneuver in this most unique season. And that's our feature story. Thanks for watching.
We would like to thank Dr. Fernando Cuellar, Talon Tillett, and Father Cristino Buffet.
Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or view on Guadalupe Media on CCV or on CBC. You can also tune in on the radio in your car, home, or office at 101.9 FM. And please be sure to download the Guadalupe Media radio app from Google Play or the App Store. Our Blessed Mother, lead us to Jesus.